In the beginning, the earth was without form and void. But the sun shone upon the sleeping earth, and deep inside the brittle crust, massive forces waited to be unleashed.
Chipset. I don't know how the settings in this game work. Where are the game settings? Game details. Why is it still in that old YouTube name? Where are info screens? Not it. No. I don't think this is it. I've played this game so many times and I have no idea. I actually have no idea how to even do that. Hey, I can actually hear myself in the recording, so that's good. So I'm going to send this link to Discord. go. Okay, I see two watching now, but that could actually be both of my laptops. Is there someone here? Yeah, it looks like there's no else. Okay. Let me tell the VC. Okay, people. Okay, I am being stupid, so due to no one's request, except for like technically one, I spent the past hour trying to figure out how to get laptop streaming. So I'm streaming the other. Yeah, well, it is for me. Well, no, it's how is it face? I can't face reveal. Okay, I didn't put the webcam on, and I'm way too lazy to restart this for it. Why would no? Okay, so okay, the point is Angry Mike. Anyone who wants to see me play an old but fun for me game, welcome to watch. Be warned, it's going to be low quality gameplay. None of you actually know the game I'm playing, but if anyone wants to watch, then come. Uh, on that note, boo me, and I'm going to get off of the VC because I'm actually talking into the stream right now. I can't do face reveal right now. Jesus. Okay, anyway. Okay, anyway. I'm going to go for the stream now. Okay, so I don't even think, well, Q is technically watching, but I highly doubt anyone's actually going to watch this, so I'm just going to play normally. Well, someone in the chat say something if anyone's actually there, so I actually know I would be explaining it. Okay, let's see. Looks like some hammers over here, good production, not many hills. Okay, that's tundra, so that's probably the top of the map. Can't say I like this that much. I don't see any resources at all, but we're gonna do it anyway. Okay, there's a hut. Worker start out. Really, I don't need anything because I don't have any resources except I guess silver technically. Okay. Now the boring part of the game. The endless pressing of the end turn button. Okay. I forgot they got money. Okay. Probably better just to regenerate this map. This is an extremely boring map. Oh, I can't even regenerate the map anymore because I'm in a city. It's true. Am I actually talking to anyone that I have to explain this to? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Ooh. Okay. For watching, that means someone's actually watching. Maybe. So basically, this game is. I don't know if anyone knows any idea what this game is. This game is Civilization 4, which is a game I grew up with. when I was a lot younger, I used to play this game. It's just like a really, nostalgic game for me. So when I saw it on Steam for like, the whole package of this 4 and the other games that 4 comes with, there's a few other one, Colonization, and a few others that came up with on a big sale. I decided to get it because, I knew I'd have some time coming up in my hands. And I had no reason not to buy it, so I kind of did it for the first time in like several years. So you get a bunch of options here. They're just random options for different things in the game, and you have continents, different maps that you can try to do. I'm pretty boring because I don't actually know what I'm doing, so I usually go for just continents. Standard map sizes make sense, and then you have different climates you can set the map at, different sea level. I almost always start ancient, so you can have full gameplay as opposed to starting later and not having the full gameplay. Same for normal. I guess you can really, if you do it, you can go really slow. I just don't go for city raising and barbarian just because it simplifies the game a little bit. There are different types of victories you can get. This is set on, for some reason, my old YouTube account when I upload the game. So, okay. And yeah, I can pick one of the leaders. I don't actually know who I should pick at this point, so I just put it on random. Different difficulties. Noble's actually the baseline, as you can see all the AI are playing on that level. Generally on a standard size map, not a huge map, there's only 6 AI you're facing, although you can actually add more if you want. It's just going to make the map more crowded, so just setting it on standard. So I'm gonna put it on random and see what I get. Pretty ironic that the VC I really wanted to be on and start is everyone's on it. No one's actually here, but everyone's on that, which is pretty funny to me because I actually tried being on that VC and ended up disconnecting so many times that I couldn't handle it anymore. Okay, well that's interesting. Randomized got America, which actually kind of sucks, frankly. The unique unit. Okay, let's actually go through that. So every civilization has a unique unit. There's many units here that you get throughout the game with different technologies. You have to go through the game, get different technologies, make new cities, and just expand, sometimes trying to take over different people, and get one of the types of victories before any of the other AI get a victory. In this case, I am America, which is, first of all, the leader is, where is he? Roosevelt. So the leader is Roosevelt, that I ended up randomized getting. So in this case, I am him. Every leader has a couple of traits. He has, in this case, industrious and organized, which are traits that someone has. And above epic? What does that mean? Okay, so I know that everyone's completely confused and has no idea what's going on, which is really funny. So what the hell? He's just posting about an earthquake. Okay, so every leader has a couple of traits. In this case, he is industrious and organized, whatever it is. So a bunch of different leaders have different traits. I'll click someone else. Montezuma kind of sucks, has aggressive and spiritual, which just give you bonuses throughout the game, different bonuses. My randomized one, which happened to me, America, starts with a couple of technologies. Every civilization starts with a couple of technologies. These are fishing and agriculture. It gets a unique unit. As well. Every civilization has a unique unit and different starting technologies. This is a Navy SEAL, which replaces a Marine. Bit complicated, but you can see that like every civilization starts with a couple of different starting technologies and has a special unit. This has a Panzer. Oh, that's too soon, I guess. This is a Panzer. Cossacks is their unique unit, and this is, I don't understand the historical reference to this, but this is an Immortal. But I randomized got this, which is Navy SEAL, which kind of actually sucks because of how late in the game it is. But all that matters is there's a unique unit. This has special bonuses. It replaces the regular unit, so this is the standard unit everyone else has. And my civilization has this unique unit, which just gets, I mean, you can compare the things that are here, and this has more, basically, is the point here. so there's also like, so you have your starting units, you have your starting technologies. Throughout the whole game, you go get different technologies. You have to make cities and expand.
What's the plan?
In this case, so
Move
you need
out.
a settler to make a city, so I made a city here. You need a worker to work tiles, and you actually, at the beginning of the game, want to collect these little huts, which give you gold, they'll give you a map, they'll give you sometimes a unit, or sometimes like a really early technology, like a unit can teach you hunting, one of these. Um, so you want to click a technology to try studying it, learning it. In this case, I actually want to do. I don't have. I guess I have agriculture already. What do I actually want? Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter what I want. Let's go for this one. So you research any technology. You research technologies. These are the two that I started with. Um, Someone type in the chat if I'm extremely boring or not. I started with these two, and different technologies lead to different other technologies. So let's say I research hunting next, then I can do archery after that. I can't do archery now because I haven't learned hunting yet. So you go through, I mean, obviously you go through time and they get more and more complicated and harder to research. I mean, computers and genetics are down here, but that's extremely late and they get, whatever. So like different technologies grant you different things as you go throughout time. So this actually allows you to build, this allows you to build Mount Rushmore. Industrialism allows you to build a tank. So that's basically, so you go through a whole technology tree, and that's basically part of the game as you get deeper and deeper into the game. So you do different technologies. This technology that I chose to research first is animal husbandry, which actually is going to reveal different animals. It allows, well, you don't actually see any animals on the map. If you saw, it will reveal horse. I can't see any horse right now. There may or may not be horse in this picture right now. It reveals horse and allows me to make a pasture with the worker that I'm building now on any tile that happens to have a horse. Each of these squares is a tile. So yeah, so that's kind of the point. And then you go through turns. This early in the game, I can't see any of the maps,
What do
so
you
I want to
need?
go around. This is, wine. So that actually, I would need a much later technology to actually go around until you find an AI. So I'm just exploring with this. And my border is actually expanded, which has to do with culture. You get some culture based on some buildings. The capital always has two culture. Your first city has two culture, so it expands. When the bar fills up, it expands and the borders go outward. And now these squares, which were originally not in my borders, are now in my borders, so I can use those squares.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, here's actually a good example. There are sheep over here. See, it requires animal husbandry, as you can see on the bottom left. So if these were in the blue, if these were in the cultural borders that I have, which it really can't be until I make another city over here, I could not actually use those sheep until I took a worker, which I don't have yet, because I'm building a worker, which will take 10 more turns. And it would have to go onto the worker, would have to travel to the square, and it would have to make a pasture, and then I could actually use that sheep. So I'm going to send, in the meantime, I'm going to send this warrior over here to get that hut. I have no idea if any of what I'm saying makes sense. But yeah, so that's the
What's
point.
the plan?
So I just got more gold, so I now have more gold, which doesn't matter that much early on. But yeah, so early in the game, it's mostly just exploring.
Awaiting your
This is
orders.
another resource. You see different resources scattered on the map, depending on the terrain. So like here is, what is the spices? Over here is sheep. Over here is corn, which means there'll be a substantial amount of food on this tile. Every single tile has different things. That's also pretty complicated, and I honestly don't know all the details behind it. But you use different tiles. I only have a population of 1, so I get to use one tile. The middle tile doesn't count. I get to use one other tile, so I get to choose only one thing. So that's why there's only one other circle. But I get to use different tiles, and that's why if I were to make a farm here on this corn, the bread amount would go up. And you want improved tiles. You want tiles that have more
Blessed shall
of
be
those
the fruit
three
of thy
things.
cattle, the
Wheel.
increase of thy kind, and
You
the
like
flocks of
having
thy
tiles
sheep.
like this is a hammer, this is a coin, so food, production, and money. And you want to improve these tiles so they have more of these things. You want to improve all the tiles that you really have. So you make workers, you make settlers, you expand that way. and you research technologies,
What's the plan?
and you improve all of your tiles, and you try to get as many resources as you can. And ultimately, there's
Tell me
another.
what to do.
Ultimately, the goal is to win. Wow. Okay, I didn't know I actually said this at the beginning of the game. Okay, but it's like, so is it 500 turns or something? You have to do one of these things. If time only happens if none of the other ones happen. Diplomatic is basically extremely late in the game. It doesn't matter. Space race also is extremely late. Basically, you have to research all the late technologies and then in your cities build all the parts of the space shuttle and then send it off before anyone else does, and then you win. Cultural is pretty hard to do, but you need 3 cities, as I was saying with the culture. You need 3 cities to reach. It has +2 culture. I have 24 total culture. You need 50,000 in 3 different cities to win cultural, and domination is kind of self-explanatory. You need those percentages of the world population and area. Time passes when you hit this button. So early in the game, so every turn, so the turn doesn't end until I hit this button. I hit Shift Enter to end it, or Enter to end a turn, and like you see, it says 3520 BC. No, there's no timer. I can take as long as I want for this turn. I'm just going quickly because I don't really have anything else to do. So you see 40 years went off. So now it's 3480 BC. Early in the game, 40 years later in the game, each turn is not going to be as much. So see, another 40 years ticked off. I got more gold.
What do you need?
Later in the game, it'll be less. So yeah, so that's how time ticks off, and you need to get one of these things. Or Conquest, you have to eliminate all the rivals, which almost never happens because if you've eliminated like 5 out of 6 rivals, you probably already have this much. Like, you probably have like 90% of the land area. So the only time Conquest really happens is when you turn off domination in the settings. But you need one of those wins. So that's basically the main goals of the game. You expand, you take all these resources as much as you can, you improve all your tiles so your citizens are happy and whatever. You build a military. So in this case I built a worker. I could also have built a warrior. I can't build more advanced military units because I don't have the technology for it. But you can build military units, and you can build settlers, which is the only thing that can make another city. So Washington here, I can make another city wherever I want, as long as it's 3 tiles away, but that doesn't matter. I can make another city. Or I can build, in this case, the only building I can build is a barracks, but as you research more technologies, you can build more buildings, which give you things. So in this case, I'm going to make a settler. Someone has found Buddhism, which you can't see. You can found religions, which is also a part of this game. The first, yeah, you can see, first to discover meditation founds Buddhism. This happens with a few different things. Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, I think there's 6 or 7 religions, something like that. I think it's 6. But I wasn't first, so I didn't found it. So some AI founded it. Good for them. The religions have a big part in the game, but only if you choose to make them a big part of the game. So I'm going to go over here with this worker, and this worker now can make a farm. As you can see right here, I can't make this because I don't have that technology, metal casting in the bottom left. But I can make a farm. As you see in the bottom left, it does a couple things. It gets +2 bread. So when this farm is finished, this square is going to have 5 bread instead of 3. So now there's going to be a much better tile, and that can help grow my city because I have a lot more food. And that's basically a large part of the game is doing that on a larger scale. So I have more sheep over here. I still haven't. Oh, there we go. I did meet someone. We actually can't talk about anything because we haven't really. You need different technologies to even talk to them about stuff. We can't trade anything yet because we don't have technologies. So he's actually a much better leader than I have. Frankly, I like him a lot more. Ooh, marbles.
Your orders.
This is not that common. So he is Incan. He has this unit. This is actually, so you see that I can build a warrior. His civilization, the Incans, at their special unit is called, I'm not going to pronounce it right. I do not know how to pronounce this properly, but this is instead of a warrior. So he has the same thing as he has a different thing than everyone else. I would make a warrior. He makes this, which comes with different promotions. So you can see this warrior, 25% city defense. Good for it. His special unit has 100% strength versus archer units. So he, even though it's 2 strength, becomes 4 strength when facing an archer. So archer is the next unit, actually, that you would get after a warrior. So that's, you know,
Your
pretty important
orders.
if you want to take over people early, because it's an AI. He's not going to do that. AIs don't
Put your
just randomly do
shoulder
that.
through the
I'm gonna be
wheel.
pondering, and so you just keep researching technologies.
Reporting for duty.
Wow, that's 4 resources that close. So that's basically the early game. Probably have bored the, how many people? 2 people watching, but I don't know. This game becomes really interesting to play. I watch this a lot when I watch my brother play this a lot because I think he had you need to be 10 to play it. I know that's not a strict rule, but in our house I didn't play it because I was like 6
What do you need?
or something at the time, so I didn't play it. I watched my brother play it a lot to learn how to play, and
Awaiting your orders.
so I just got another warrior from those villagers, and there's horse over here, which is actually really nice. That one horse, and that's elephant right there. It's called ivory. So that does actually allow me to build. You cannot build horse military units or elephant military units unless you have one of these. So I'm going to need to make a city over here to get it within the blue borders to make it mine, so I can actually get horse units and get elephant units. Because if let's see, find one. Horse archer, yeah. So after I have this technology, and horse. So I need these 2 technologies and horse. If I didn't have horse, even if I had the technologies, it wouldn't matter. So I need this in order to make that unit. And that happens also with elephants. You cannot make any elephant units. There's only 1 elephant unit, actually. This war elephant, which is 8 strength, whatever that's worth, requires construction. That's a later technology, and ivory, which is this. Happens to be, I have it. Or I will have it, I don't have it now. So that is, you know, how you make units, that's how you utilize technologies. And actually, I know that this is the middle of the map because this is jungle, which means it's a hot climate, which means it's the middle.
Hath not the
So it's
potter
near the
power
equator.
over the clay to make one
Whatever
vessel
that's
unto
supposed to
honor,
be.
and
That's
another
how
unto
it is.
dishonor?
Tell me what to
So that
do.
means this is trending towards the bottom of the map. I'm a little bit below the equator. And when I expand, I should keep that in mind, that this is near the equator. The reason that's important, there's a lot of reasons that's important, but that's at least important to know where you are on the map. So I want to build another mine. This will continue to explore. So I cannot get materials. So the only way I get materials, so for example, this corn. I only have this corn because this corn's within my borders. You see the blue is my borders. It has to be within my borders, and I had to have
At
a
your
worker
service.
go on that tile, and in this case, make a farm. For horse, it'd be make a pasture. So I don't have this horse because I need the horse to be inside the blue, and then I need to have a worker go on that horse tile and make a pasture, and then I have horse. And then I could use that horse. But until then, I don't have horse. Just because I can see this marble here doesn't actually give it to me. So that's why you need to expand, because you can't actually use anything unless, you know, you actually go out and make settlers.
Ready
So
for action.
that's why. So the early game is a bit boring. There's not that much to do except explore. If I
What
really
do
want
you
to be
need?
boring, I could actually click this button, which
Ready for
automates the
action.
exploration and just makes it go, which sometimes is a lot easier. But and for some reason, they always have a bunch of ivory next to each other. I guess that's somewhat logical that all elephants are going to be next to each other. Elephants are almost always near jungle, and they're always in clusters. So you see 5 elephants next to each other. There may not be any elephants on the entire planet besides those. Maybe there's one other spot, but generally there's only like 1 or 2 spots on the entire planet where there's elephants, and there's a bunch of elephants. I don't know why. So next turn, that gives me mining,
The
which in
man
this
who moves
case
a
allows
mountain
people to
begins
mine,
by
which
carrying
only with a
away
worker,
small
and
stones.
unlocks a couple other technologies. So now I can research bronze working, which I could not before. I'm going to make a road here, and I'm going to keep exploring with this.
Ready
That
for
is
action.
the ocean up here, which is interesting. I guess the continent's much bigger to the south. So I'm actually going to automate this one and focus on the other one. This one's going to keep going down here. I don't hear any music. 1 second.
What's the plan?
What's the plan? Okay. I don't hear any music. Hitting Control M and it's not doing anything. Okay, that's fantastic. Do you guys hear music?
What's the plan?
I don't hear any music. Okay, so now that I did that other thing called mining, I can now make a mine. I could not do that before. Now I can make a mine. I still cannot do this because it requires mathematics, but I can make a mine. This mine will give me, if you look in the bottom left, +2 hammers, which are helping me work. So, if you see now, settler in 6 turns. That means in 6 turns and 6 presses of this button, I'll have a settler done. Now it says 12. So that can go up and down. I'm making 2 hammers. And it needs 24. So the basics are, I have 76 out of 100 production done for it. I'm currently making 2 hammers, so that means math, which you don't have to do math, it's going to tell you, but 24 divided by 2 is 12. So if I were to add more hammers, so let's say I click on a tile, I still only have 1 tile, so I only get to click on 1. I click on 1 tile, now, I clicked on this one before, now it's actually, well, it's bred for a different reason, but normally it's not bred. Let's put on the warrior. Yeah. Normally, in this case I have 0, 15. I have now 2 production, 1 hammer, 2 hammers. That means in 8 turns it'll be done. So that's the basics of how it works. You get your population grows from extra food. Your population doesn't grow when you're making a settler or worker, but ignoring that, normally your population grows if you have excess food. In this case, I would have 4 food produced, 2 eaten. So my population would grow pretty fast. In only 11 turns. Actually, if I do the huge loaf of bread, it'd be only 5 turns until it grows. And once it grows, I can make, so actually let me do that. It says it's going to grow in 5 turns. So now if I hit, let me
Awaiting your orders.
set this on, yeah, this is on automated.
Reporting for duty.
So I'm going to hit the turn button 3 more times. More years pass. Ignoring that, and now it's grown to 2. I had enough food, and the bar refilled, and now it has 2 population. That means now I can work 2 different tiles. The middle tile doesn't count. 2 different tiles. So now that increases my production. So now I can have extra food, and I get these 3 hammers from this mine that I made. So now I have 4 total hammers, and these are being produced much faster. So that's how you improve cities, and that's imperative as you get more and more complex units that you want to build that cost more and more production, because a warrior doesn't cost nearly as much as a tank. A tank, obviously, warrior is not nearly as complex. So I produced a warrior. I now have a warrior here. It'll just sit here and do nothing. And now I'm going to continue building that settler, and that's how you improve these cities. And
It is entirely seemly
basically the
for a
point.
young man
Here's
killed in
another
battle
topic.
to
More
lie
population
mangled
means
by the
more-
bronze spear.
So,
In his death,
more
all
population,
things appear fair.
More population. Hunting, sure. More population allows me to click more of these tiles. More of these tiles gives me more of these 3 things. Again, the 3 things are food, production, and coins. Coins, I need gold to make gold, and as I have more and more cities, it's going to cost more and more, so I need more and more gold. Production helps building things in that city. Now you can see I could actually build an axeman if I had a certain resource. I don't have copper, so I can't build that. But I can build a warrior, or a worker, or a settler. So more of these hammers means I can build things faster. If I click this off, it takes 2 turns. Now that I have more hammers, it takes 1 turn. So more of this, and more food means that I grow faster. If I click this, you see it grow faster than if I didn't have that food. 3 turns, I click off this, and we're starving because I have 3 food and we're eating 4. So more tiles means more production, more money, and more food in the capital, and it can keep growing. And that means I can make more units faster, and if I make more units faster, then I can have more things. So in this case, I just made a warrior. We're going to make a granary, which is a building that helps in growth. It doesn't really matter what it does, but it
Tell
helps
me
in
what
growth.
to do.
Now I've made a settler, and this settler now can go out, and he can make a city.
At your service.
Damn, I'm not creative. Okay, so I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna make a city, and well, this should have been black. Okay, so we're gonna go make a city here. I'm gonna choose to go here.
Ready for
the
action.
recommended circles are blue, the ones that they recommend to you.
Reporting for
I
duty.
don't care, so I'm going to ignore that. It's gonna
Tell
go
me what
here.
to do.
Experience. Okay, this just got a hut. Okay, this just got a hut. You get promotions, which is another point that only matters when you're doing war. but I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to make a city right here.
Move out!
And only settlers can make cities. And I make a city, and now this city can also make stuff. So now I have another city, I have more borders, and I still cannot use this horse. This horse is now mine, but I can't use it. So I now have horse in my borders. No one else can use this, unless I trade with them, but I'm not going to. But once I make a worker and put it on, as you can see in the bottom left, it requires a pasture. I'm going to need a worker to go onto that tile. And
If you
make a
chase
pasture
two
there.
rabbits, you will lose them both.
Masonry, so just for the sake of doing it, let's bring my only existing worker over there. And
Your orders!
I'm going to click a pasture, and it says 4 turns. Pasture. That doesn't matter that much. And now the pasture is done. I'm going to make a road to connect the pasture to the city.
It is from their foes, not their friends, that cities learn the lesson
And
of
now-
building a high wall.
This city, right here, if it wants, can make a chariot, which is a mountain unit that uses horses. And now I can make a chariot. I can only make a chariot because I have horses.
At your service!
There's no road connecting these two cities, so this city cannot make horses because they don't have the horses. These cities are not connected. So I'm going to build a road between these two cities so they
What
can
do you
both
need?
use horses. So that's basically how that works. That's how you get resources. I cannot build these units even though I have the technology for it because I don't have copper, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish I had copper. But if you scroll out, oh, there's copper. That's a good example right there. Copper is right here. I don't have copper, but if I did have copper, then I can make these units. So that's the goal for now. I'm gonna now. Wait, where the? Oh, he's down. Wow, he should be easy to take over actually. I hope I get to do that. Started streaming 37 minutes ago. Well, if someone watches this, maybe I'll do it. Yeah, bow settler. So now I'm gonna have this worker make a farm here on that corn, so I can have that corn. And we're gonna have
Ready for
this
action!
one build a road, and once this road is done, I just got writing,
True
which
glory
enables open
consists in
borders.
doing what
I
deserves
can
to be
actually
written,
show
in
open
writing
borders
what
means now go
deserves
to
to be
these
read.
people, and you've opened borders. I'll accept it because they usually accept that deal. Where is he? He's pink. Where is he? I have no idea where he is. Okay. I did not want to declare war. We accept him. So now that we have open borders, that means that my guy, this
At your
guy,
service.
can now freely go into his territory. I couldn't do that before. I could not go into his territory. I would have had to declare war to go into his territory, and I did not want to do that because I probably would have died because I don't really have military. So, but now I can freely go in, and that's fine. And he can go into mine. So he can walk through here. He can't take anything. He cannot take my corn. He cannot raid anything. He can just walk through. That's the only thing that does. So now it's free territory. I can just walk through there. Also, I finished this road. You can see there's now a road all the way. Well, there's a river here, but that doesn't really matter. There's a road going all the way through, which means that now this also has horse. Also, there's a trade route giving me more money between Washington and New York, which geographically are not this close. 5 watching now. Who joined? Someone joined. That's good. So now this city can also make horses because it's connected to the city that has horses. So now they both have horses, which is very important for making the units. And it just made a notice that and it said I now have horses. That's all it said. I probably should have let people read that, but that's all it says. It literally said congratulations for connecting horse. If you want to go back and pause the screen there. So that's basically it for the early game. I just made archery here.
Do not throw the arrow which will return against you.
That's basically the point here. What we could do. So those are the basics. Yeah, I know, went from 4 to 5. Yeah, it's exciting. I maybe should load a game. Should I load a game? Oh, maybe. Part 2? Maybe let's load part 2. I want to load a game where I'm much further on in the game, based on those basics, because the beginning of the game takes a bit of a while. If not, I'll just go back. I didn't actually save what I just did. Actually, this is after the war. I don't want after the war. Oh, it's before the war. Oh, we're up to 6. Look at this. Going famous here. So this was actually a different game I just played. So I actually went through the whole game. I won this game. Full chart of the JFX. Yes. Okay, so this was much later on in the game. If I go to my technologies, you can see I haven't researched this classic. I've researched all the green ones I've researched already. And so I have a lot more stuff now. So, this is so much more fun to me. People may not agree, which I finally don't have to love a game. But I have a lot of these units. This unit is, I'm the Roman Empire in this game. I'm Julius Caesar in this game, which has different traits, expansive, organized, whatever that matters. And the special unit's a Praetorian, which is my favorite special unit. The normal swordsman, which is your first... Oh, it's a swordsman. So swordsman has 6 strength. This is like your strongest early game unit. This is much later, but this is your strongest early game unit. It's only 6 strength, and it's not that good. A Praetorian, which is for Rome, is 8 strength, which is whatever it means. That is much better for this time of the game, because most of the things you're trying to beat when defending a city are between 6 and 8 strength. So that means everything. So in this game, I actually already played this through. So I destroyed Washington and Tokugawa for whatever it's worth. So I have workers. I had workers building roads, and I said, Washington, you can go fuck yourself. He's actually pleased with me because we're both Confucian for whatever the hell reason. So he's all pleased with me, and I'm just gonna ask him. He said, no, screw yourself. You know what? Usually they'd say yes to this, actually. So now I have a reason to even declare war on him. He's pleased with me. He would never declare war. He has all these green things, years of peace. We care for our brothers and sisters of the faith, and we have open borders. So he's happy with me. He would never declare war on me. But I'm not an AI, so I can go declare war on him. Maybe I should do that, actually. Yeah, sure. So whenever you attack a unit, there's this animation that plays. Relax. I had a 72.8% chance of winning. I lost. Classic J. Okay, so I lost, which is unfortunate, but I am going to charge into his land here. So that's the main goal right now, is to just absolutely annihilate America, because America sucks. So let's take all these force outshoots. And now we're going to try taking over a city. So I've actually already done this. He decided to attack my force outshot, and despite that, I had another 72.8% chance of winning.
To bring about the rule of
again,
righteousness in the land, so that the strong should not harm the weak.
I'm going to build construction, because you can see can, train, war elephant, and catapult, which are important units in a war.
Quod expectas? Maestia Imperio.
Now we can see so I actually won that. How did I lose twice? I got a 1 in 16 chance of losing twice in a row there. Oh well. Do I want to take this guy? Yeah, I want to take this guy. Take this guy. Okay, 99% chance of winning. Okay, so Luckhack's back active. He has these units defending Boston, and assuming no one in this chat has ever been to Boston, I have. There are no elephants in Boston. It's not near a jungle. But, well, Boston can take it over. Okay, either way. So you can see, bottom left, there's a bunch of red. The reason there's a bunch of red is there's a bunch of promotions that his unit has. If I had a bunch of promotions, which I don't, there'd be a bunch of green things. But base strength here is 8. His is 7.35 because of all those benefits it has. It's defending a city, it's on a hill, it has a first strike, whatever that is. The reason I love this special unit, as I said, it has 8 You don't like war noises? It has 8 strength instead of 6, which is always huge because these archers, which is most of the things you at this time of the game, you're usually going to be facing archers. And they're usually, when defending a city, instead of 3, these have 3 strength normally, but because of all these bonuses, it's usually between 6 and 8. So I love having these because usually win, while swordsmen usually lose. So 83.6%. Yeah, they have weird war noises. I'll give you that. Yeah, so they have weird grunts, honestly, but weird. So I just took over a city. Now the city is mine. Washington can go second. So that's basically the point here. So I actually, in real time, or this is speaking of my replay today, this game. So I said, so I actually knew that there were archers here, and I knew that what units he had because I played this like 7 hours ago. It's a weird email I just got. So I actually took over all his cities. And if we go back to the other game, this is part 1 that I just loaded. So if we go to part 2, I believe. There we go. So if we go to part 2, war sounds intensify. Yeah, why not raid cities? So at this point, you can see Washington has 0. Why does Washington have 0? Well, if you notice, all his cities are gone. I took over every one of his cities because, you know, America sucks. The Romans are much better. So I took over the city. Here. And that's basically the goal of this game is to do that. So if you so if you can see, my percentage of the world is much higher now. I've still only explored this continent, so I only see Tokugawa, who I took over also, because screw him too. So as you can see, I have a ton of war units here. I saved the game right before declaring war on this asshat. So here I declared war, and took it. Wow. Anyway, so when I actually played this through earlier, I should mention when I played this earlier, Japanese, so there were no more weeks because Japan was actually totally annihilated. Which is, it's gotta suck just being dead. But okay, fam, I let you hear it that time. So I did play this earlier, and there goes the Japanese city. There's loud shrieking noises because I'm dying, which is unfortunate. What did I just click? I don't know what I just clicked. So that's basically the point here. This is a boat. This is a boat. I use lots of water boats, whatever it's worth. So I actually ended up taking over all of Japan, because why not? What's wrong with my Queen, does your throat hurt after 2 cans of Diet Coke? So I just had a second can not long ago, and now my throat's killing me, which is probably not healthy. So this is actually part 3, which I saved after taking out Tokugawa. So as you can see, both the entire continent is now mine. All these cities are now mine. I used lots of, there was, it didn't go well for him. So I took over all of Japan, which is, again, unfortunate. And I've started exploring. I have a boat now here. I built a boat, it's optics. No, your throat doesn't hurt? Optics, so after, wherever the hell that technology is, I did optics. I made a caravel. This boat can sail into the ocean. I've gone now to explore, as you can see. I went through here. This is where I explored. Not Christian. Yeah. Killed a lot of people because she didn't like people who weren't Christian, actually. He was not Hindu. In fact, he killed lots of people who were Christian. So, but whatever. They founded those religions. No. We don't allow logic. Q. So I've explored here. I've met a few new people. Yeah, so I realized recently we have ice trays. I didn't know we had ice trays in the house, so I have now ice, and I have a cold Coke, and I get ice cubes with a cold Coke, and it's fantastic. Put it in a cup, pour it in, cold. It's just like triple cold, so it's awesome. Security, weird text. Okay, so that's basically the point of this game. I've now taken over 2 civilizations. I could have, so now this is even higher. I'm actually much closer to a domination victory. It would have taken a lot of boats to travel across the sea with a lot of army. I have plenty of army. This and these guys probably could have taken out whatever the hell Isabella has. I don't know what she has. I probably could have taken over a couple more of these people that are on this continent over here, which you can't really see because it's mostly black. I probably could have, but I would have needed to build a lot of boats to transport these units. This unit cannot actually carry units. That can go. Yeah, it's one of my favorites, probably. I need a boat. This boat can actually carry things, but it cannot go. You see that it says it's red. This boat, galley, cannot go into the ocean. You need a galleon, which is later in the game, to carry units across the ocean to just destroy these people. So yeah. So I could have done that. It would have been a significant amount of work. After I had taken over these 2 civilizations, I had a ton of cities, a ton of production. I actually don't get brain freeze. I don't know why. Well, I guess I know why. I drink so many Slurpees. I have drunk so many Slurpees. I just don't get. I drink them really fast. I just don't get brain freezes. Like I can't remember getting a brain freeze. For whatever that's worth. I don't know. Immune. I have brain hacks, I guess. So that was. I kind of knew at this point I had enough cities. I had a ton of land. You can load part 4 of this game. Yeah, so actually I'd load this. This was actually my earliest victory. Happened in 1948 I won. This is my most recent game and my best game for what it's worth. So, once this loads... That's weird music. Okay. I didn't hear any music before. I don't know what was going on. Before I couldn't hear any music. Okay, so here is the game. These are not okay. So here's this city producing modern armor. This is actually the strongest unit in the game. I was talking about 2 or 3 or 6 strength. This is 40 if you look at the bottom left. You have to look. I can't even really point to it. You can see the bottom left is modern armor, and then the 40 below it. It is 40 strength, which is pretty ridiculous, frankly. But yeah, so that's 40 strength. That's the best in the game. I built a bunch of frigates because I'm an idiot. I have 12 of these stupid things. Why do I have 12 of these? Okay, whatever. So I now just upgraded them to destroyers with gold from my treasury because I don't know. As you can see here, the whole map's filled out. We've actually gone through the whole map. I explored the entire map. I have a bunch of boats that I automated. Actually, I hit this button, which says Explore Automated. So these have just been randomly going around. As you can see, these 2 civilizations are gone. I did not actually go after these people because I was too lazy. But, so these people, you can see, like, this is decently large. She kind of sucks. She's pretty small, and he's okay. Scores are much higher, and I have an insane amount of land because I'm a jerk, and I decided to take over people. So I didn't make it. I have 37 people, not 64, 37%, not 64%, so I didn't win. But I did build all the space things. So, happens to be, I built a bunch of space parts. You needed really late in the tech tree. So, like, where is it? For example, genetics. After I did genetics, I was allowed to build an SS stasis chamber, which is one of many parts. Where is computers? I wanted, what was it? Satellites. Rocketry. After you build rocketry, you get to make the Apollo program. I hope you know what that is. when you make the Apollo program, which takes 1,600 hammers. So I was talking about before a warrior being 100 hammers and how you have hammers in your cities. This is 1,600. So let's check out a random city. Philadelphia, sure, which was not my original city. This city, first of all, is starving because it has too many population. It's 18 population, which each population takes 2 food. I only have 35 food, so this is actually starving. Whatever that's worth. It also has a bunch of hammers, so I have a mine here, a mine here, a mine here, a mine here. I've made mines, as you can see. Wow, great, thank you, game. I've made a bunch of mines, and that adds hammers. So I have hammers. All those hammers mean I have 50 production in the city. And that means a hospital, which takes 200 production, gets done pretty quickly. So in the case of what I was talking about before, the Apollo program takes 1,600 hammers. Once you build, so you later in the game have more hammers. Is the point. You can build bigger buildings faster, which makes sense. You have more technology, you have more production, and later in human history, so you can build stuff faster. So this, when you build this thing, you can now build space parts in all your cities. So once this is built, you can build this. So you can build space parts. Once you have done that Apollo program, you need to win a space race victory. You need 5 of these, 3 of these, and 1 of each of these. You can build these. Each of these needs a technology. This needs rocketry, this needs satellites, whatever it is. So this fusion, okay, but you need different technologies. Once you have those technologies, you can make those buildings in your cities. You can't see that because I've built it. But once I built all of them, I won a space race victory. Let me see if I can load a save file. Uh-oh, my laptop is dying. That's not good. Plug it in. Okay, so my laptop is now stream lagging. Well, my laptop is about to die. Now it's plugged in. Is it still lagging? So I actually don't have auto saves because I'm not playing this game. Is it still lagging?